What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 8, Pride and Pettiness. Before I start, y'all, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure you like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. I don't even know what to say about this episode. It was very entertaining. I just don't know what to say. We too grown to be trying to bully people. We're just too old for that, okay? Maybe it's just me, but I just think we too old for that. So the episode continues with the whole Kiana talking to what's her name? Talking to Monique about Stacy and the Chris situation. And Kiana for me definitely is a loser. She's a pretty girl. Her face card never declines. I will give her that. Her body is tea, but she's a loser, you know. So Monique said, listen, we've been divorced for 2 years, and I would expect Chris to actually date. And I feel like that was it. That was all, and we just gonna shut this shit down. And I was happy that Monique didn't buy into that. Even as we see Monique this episode, was a lot of things that she really didn't buy into. I think she's treading lightly. Anyway, Wendy was telling Kiana like that was messy, and Monique was like, listen, we cool, I'm good with Chris as long as they can continue to pretty much co-parent and it be about the children. Anything else, it is what it is. All right. So since that situation didn't work, they decided to get on Stacy about her cannabis line. So Tia, she touches Giselle's butt or whatever. And again, you see Stacy trying to befriend these ladies, even though they come at her sideways. She still kind of get up and, let me just kind of befriend these hoes. I don't trust them, but let me just be nice. So she asked Giselle, hey, can I touch your butt too? And Giselle was like, no, you can't touch me and she was like, well, why can she do it and I can't? This is Giselle being a miserable ass bitch, okay? Because I like her. I don't like her. Y'all remember that? That's what she told Wendy. I'm sorry, y'all. Giselle has not changed for me in my book. She's a little tolerable, but she has not changed in my book. Anyway, Stacy starts talking to Ashley about, so she touches Ashley's face, and she was like, I'm pretty intrigued at how you look, with the boy look or whatever. Again, this is just Stacy being nice. So she was being nice to Ashley. Ashley was like, okay, Stacy, like, you so grossed out. Bitch, you just licked another whole titty, and you gonna sit here and act like Stacy touching your face is grossing you out? Ashley, get the fuck out of here with your stupid ass. That bitch makes me sick. I don't like that whole take her. Get her off of our screens. Girl, I tried. Listen, I tried not to cuss. I really did. That bitch make me sick. I just feel like the way you act and the way you're so sexual, then you're gonna tell us a little bit later that you're into girls, and so the moment Stacy touches your face, it's like, ew, she's touching me. Bitch, you probably got worms from Michael with your nasty ass. Okay? Anyway, Ashley confronts Stacy. Okay, Ashley confronts Stacy about her cannabis line. Ashley thinks that it's weird that It was the line was a Yoruba, Yoruba, whatever it is, Yoruba name. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? It's my New Orleans. My New Orleans makes me very selective on a lot of words. I'm gonna blame it on that, okay? So they questioned her about her cannabis line name, and she tells them, listen, I am part Nigerian, and that is why I did it, okay? So Stacey also shares with the ladies, I've already spoken to y'all about this already. Like, basically, I talked to you bitches already. So why y'all keep bringing this up? Again, if you ain't talking about, you don't have nothing on the TJ situation. We don't have nothing on the Chris situation. Monique shut that shit down. Now, y'all want to bring about this cannabis line. Baby, somebody said on Twitter, and I 100% agree. Stacey back must be hurting for carrying these hoes on her back from last season, and now she got to carry the dead weight this season. Get the fuck out of here. So Angel, stupid. When I tell y'all, Angel is such a loser. Like, I want her to come back, but you're gonna have to redeem yourself. So she tells Stacey it's ancestry versus heritage. And I'm just looking at her like, girl, sit your stupid ass down, because I'm going to get on you a little later. Anyway, Wendy tells Stacey if she's going to, if you're going to give your cannabis line a Yoruba name, then you have to pronounce it correctly. And so in Giselle fashion, you laugh extremely loud. But this is why I have to clock you real quick, Wendy, because for you to, it's okay. I get that you want to correct your friend, but you correcting her in front of these ladies is a bitch ass move. Why? Because any little thing about Stacey, they're gonna revel in it. They're gonna laugh. They're gonna revel in it. They're gonna take it and they're gonna use that against her. They're gonna weaponize her with these things. And for you to say that. And so if you guys paid attention in this little circle of whatever, and even at the end in the other circle, y'all know Ashley and that Cheshire cat smile, that sneaky snide ass smile. When I tell y'all Ashley need her ass whooped just on GP, Ashley need her ass beat. Let me tell you, it will be my honor and my pleasure to sling that hole all the way around. Okay? And drag her. I will drag you in this bitch. Like red hair Candy. Okay? Shout out to Candy. So Tia mentions in her confessional how Stacey has paid for a boyfriend and said that in Nigeria they don't do that nonsense. Okay. She paid for TJ. It is what it is. Women on this show has done it all a lot. It's just the way they picking this lady apart is so annoying to me. I can get on Stacey for being wrong. I really can. And I will get on anybody for being wrong. But this is different. This is totally different. And it's like, I don't know how a lot of people do reality TV, because I would have been cracked under I would have been cracked under pressure. Somebody would have been got their ass whooped. Okay. Anyway, Ashley turns to Angel and say, this is another instance of Stacey not being genuine. Angel said, yeah, it's giving money grab. Bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Both of y'all. I'm sorry. I just, because again, if I'm wrong, y'all drop it in the comments. But what has Stacey done personally to any of these ladies? I'll wait. So just drop it in the comments and let me know, and I y'all know I'll talk back to y'all. Let me know. So Angel asked Stacey, what about the social justice component of her business? And I'm looking at Angel like, I guess, girl. She said, so she asked Stacey, is there a social justice component? And so Stacey she shut that shit down. Like, uh, 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 uh. So immediately Angel was like, don't be rude. Don't be rude. And at this point, I'm drained of Angel because you can dish it, but you can't take it, which is a lot of these ladies. They can give it out, but they can't take it when it's done to them. Because just a few episode or two ago, you didn't like it when it was done to you. You're going to talk about it again in this episode. You didn't like what people had done to you or said to you. So, Angel said that Stacey was totally dismissive. Was she totally dismissive, or did she shut you down for trying to play in her face like the rest of these hoes? Like, I don't understand that. Y'all want this lady to literally lay there and take this shit. That shit is aggravating as fuck. I really applaud Stacey, because I would have been getting all types of lawsuits against me. I probably would have been in jail. They would have had to press charges on me, because the first person I would have started with was Ashley. I would have beat her motherfucking ass. I promise y'all. And then Klarna. Okay, Kiarna. Like, literally took those two hoes and yanked them together. Like, whoo! I've been delivered from some stuff, okay? I ain't used to fight like that, but child. So everybody goes outside to get on the float, and Wendy questions, what the hell is GNA? Okay, first it was a workout line, clothing line, then it was a workout thing. Now we're all confused. Honestly, y'all, I forgot. Shout out to Giselle's daughter. What's her oldest? Grace? Because Grace is a part of the LGBTQ community. Okay? Shout out to her. I like Grace. Okay? So Ashley decided to tell her she came out when she was 14. Her grandmother didn't like it at first. And then now her grandmother don't really care. Her grandmother is like, who you dating this time? Him or her or whatever. I don't know. Ashley is a stupid bitch. Okay? So, all the ladies finish the float or whatever. They go sit and have lunch. Giselle tells Monique that her energy was good. And Wendy asks Monique, it's just been so long since we've seen you. So what has happened between yourself and Chris? So Monique was like, basically, the relationship was a facade. She said she wasn't loved properly. Monique talked about how big the kids have gotten, and it must be they may have had an agreement for the kids not to be on the show, because we don't see the kids at all. So she tells the ladies how Chris made her feel like a piece of meat, basically, and he was just nice to her whenever he wanted something. And again, Chris didn't give us that because he came to us as the nice guy. A lot of times people do come to you as a nice guy, and then they real self come out. Anyway, in the next scene, Angel and her husband, they're still looking for a home in Maryland. Bobby actually looks like Nipsey Hussle. This, honestly, y'all, we've been in episode 8, and I never had a chance to look at Bobby. I'm never just really honing in on stuff. So when I see something, whenever something catches my eye, I'm like, oh. So, to me, I could be wrong, y'all. He looks a little bit like Nipsey Hussle. Anyway, Angel has a conversation with Bobby about the ladies. She talks to Bobby about Giselle and Wendy once again. She said that Wendy threw sauce on what Giselle said. And I was like, no. Flag on the play. Okay. It was actually, and I want to say that Angel did say that Wendy started it. I don't know. It was Giselle that brought it up. It was Giselle that accused you of being a catfish. Honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck. All of those pictures to me looked exactly like Angel. The only thing I said was her face is fuller. So, and she did use a filter. And sometimes when you're doing different, taking pictures from different angles, you tend to look a little different. And sometimes even when you have on certain colors, your skin looks different. It's or if you're taking a picture in the sun, or if you're doing just, y'all know what I mean. Sometimes our pictures are not going to always look the same. But she said she's going to talk to Wendy. And I'm just like, why? All Wendy said was, your attitude is different towards me. I wasn't the one that brought it up. But she pointed out that Giselle was the one who's talking about it. But yet you're angry at me. That's all Wendy was saying. So if she laughed at you, it is what it is, because you kept poking at this lady, and now you're going to continue to poke with her. And it is clear that Angel and Kiana's mission was to come at Wendy. I don't know. It's still, for me, I still feel like all of this is on behalf of Karen. But again, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. So in the next scene, Giselle, Kiana, Ashley, Tia, they meet up for lunch. She tells them that she's been nominated for the Reasonably Shady for a couple awards, which is good. They have, I want to say 10 million something hits or something. I don't know. But Reasonably Shady is doing very, very well. And Kiana lets the ladies know that she talked to Aretha Franklin, aka Cookie. She said Chris called Cookie and asked Cookie why was Monique talking trash about him and saying that, his mix was bad. Kiana also said, it was like, well, who said that? So now Stacy was the one who called Chris and told him everything that Monique had said. Now, I will say this. If Stacy did that, that was messy. That wasn't your place to do. But why is it a big deal? Because everything that Monique has discussed about Chris on TV, she discussed it somewhat when she was on that other show, Love and Marriage DC. And for her to discuss it on TV, he's going to see it. So I don't know. This is just this lady experience with him. And I don't understand why it's such a big deal. But I guess y'all can believe Cookie if y'all want. Cookie to me looks like a liar. Cookie to me is probably some type of social climber who wants to be in everybody's shit. She seems like she wants a friend of spot on the show. It is already said that she doesn't like Stacy. She doesn't like Wendy, of course, because she shaded Wendy. And again, she is still Karen's friend. So again, it still lends me to believe all of these people that are coming for this lady, coming for Wendy, is all on behalf of Karen. Even a little bit of Stacy. I don't know. I know we all like Karen. We sure do like Karen. But even behind the bars, you can still be a messy bitch. Okay? So Giselle said, because Giselle is an evil, old maid as a whole, she said that she invited Cookie to the party and that Cookie doesn't like Stacy. And it was odd to see Vivian there. Again, you're bringing people onto this show who you know do not like Stacy. And again, I get it, it's for your event, but again, you decided to take this moment to try to mess up your event just on the strength of you not liking Stacy. So Wendy meets with Monique. We found out that Wendy was the first person that reached out to Monique after the altercation between her and Candace. They never had a chance to they've never had a chance to properly get to know each other. Wendy tells Monique that, Wendy says in her confessional that the relationship, I stuck by my friend's side because you had to fight with my friend. She came on, and let's be clear, we can't get mad at that. I know everybody wanted Wendy to choose Monique, but she didn't know Monique like that. She came on through Candace. So she built a rapport with Candace. So I'm going to stick by my friend. How does that look for me to come on this show? I'm friends with this lady, but I'm over here with you. No, a lot of us, 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to be pissed off about that. So Wendy didn't choose Giselle and them. She did not. She chose Candace. We got to be okay with that. She chose Candace. And it is what it is, including myself, because I was side-eyeing Wendy. But no, she chose Candace. And that's fine because that is her friend. So Wendy tells Monique, her and Giselle relationship has gotten better. I consider her, she said, I consider her as a friend in the way Monique looked. Again, which leads me to believe that Monique is treading lightly with this whole Giselle situation. That's just how I feel. She's treading lightly, like, I don't know. So they talk about Karen. And Wendy shares with Monique, how Karen was telling Stacy those things, when Karen told Stacy, told Stacy, whatever she said about Wendy. I remember that, but I don't remember exactly what she said. So she tells Monique that Cookie, nobody personally talks to Karen. Cookie is the middle person that talks to Karen and then will probably go to the group and talk to them about some things. So there's that. Monique said, I don't talk to Cookie at all. She said she told Monique that the man Chuck Brown was her daughter. Monique said she lied about that. Monique said she's a whole different type of entity. Basically, that hoe is a demon. Okay, Aretha Franklin is a damn demon. And we're going to call it for what it is. So, Monique stays away from her. Anyway, Monique, they talk about the new girls. Monique thinks that the new girls are very passive. Wendy said she's pretty much tired of the ladies ganging up on Stacy. And I was glad she said that. But there are times when it feels like you're piling on with Stacy a little bit. Like when you talk to her, you do it in front of the girls. And again, any little thing that you give to Stacy, they're waiting on that. Anyway, so but Monique tells her, I need you when it comes to Stacy, just take a step back and kind of watch Stacy, because it seems as though Stacy wants to be a little bit like you. And I feel two ways about it. I feel like it seems as though Stacy can come off sneaky like that, but I think she just have this, how there are people out there who may not be able to find their own lane, and they feel like they have to mimic the person that they admire down to the T. Okay. Is she doing that? No, but there are people out there, and I think that there's this admiration that Stacy has for Wendy. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. So Stacy, we get to the next scene. Stacy and Timu Stacy talks to us about her relationship with Timu, how everything has changed, and then Tia shows up. So Tia asked Stacy, how did she know Chris? Now at this point, Timu has left, but before Timu left, Tia asked Timu, they want to meet for dinner. He was like, no, he's gonna be gone. Stacy said, yeah, he may not come back for another week or two or whatever. I just feel like that man doesn't want to be on the show. Stacey also made some type of comment about basically wanting to protect Timu, and that she's not stupid enough to bring Timu around these girls. It did seem like Stacey lied when she talked to Wendy on the phone, Wendy and Tia on the phone. I do feel like Timu did not want to come. He don't want to be on the camera, so he lied, and so Stacey went along with that. I don't think that there is such a comfort level, because again, you guys are on me heavy. So I know if my husband comes on here, you're probably going to try to question him and pull out some things with him. And it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to avoid all of that. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think that man wants to be on the show. I don't think he wanted to be on the show last season, and I think the fact still remains that he doesn't want to be on the show. He didn't even look Tia in her eye. He didn't even look the way of the cameras. He was looking like this way. So I do think that Timu is a little socially awkward, but hey, that is just, I don't know if that's a German thing. I don't know, but that's just his personality. So Tia asked Stacey, how does she know Chris? She said, I know him socially. I know him from around. But here's another thing. In Tia's confessional, with her meeting with those other ladies, with Giselle, Kiana, and Ashley, we're not going to sit here and act like you didn't. You're talking about, I got out of my bed at 5 a.m. Bitch, you going to sit here, act like you didn't meet with them hoes? So you said in your confessional you wanted to be, I guess, I don't know, did she say Sherlock Holmes? A little bit of Sherlock Holmes. So you're gathering information. To me, it seems as though you're gathering information so you can go back and tell these bitches. So you are not to be trusted either. That's what I'm taking out of this. So you want to come on here and you want to play the victim too, but we pulling cards. Okay? We pulling cards. So Giselle meet with the party planner. Grace works with the party planner. Robin didn't want to come to her own event because why? Robin is a loser, and that's just as simple as that. Okay, she wanted to stay her big back, lazy ass, nasty ass out on a couch with her and her hats. Okay, and I'm not calling. I say she was like, no, because she's doing good on the podcast. So it just would have been nice. I don't want to see Robin. But it would have been nice to actually see Robin being, have a party with her friend to honor them too. It was never about the show, but just to honor it is just being shown on the show. But whatever, Giselle said she didn't want to invite Stacey. Again, why? Why is it that you don't like her? And to say you don't like her because it's a lie, is because she's a liar, is it that could be very telling coming from you, Giselle. So again, I need a valid reason as to why you don't like Stacey. There is none. Y'all, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say Stacey is not a liar, but I'm not gonna sit here and allow like all of this. This is too much. It's too much. So she tells the guy, the party planner, that Stacey told Chris what happened. So y'all, it's almost like anytime y'all get information on Stacey, y'all take it, y'all hold on to it, and y'all run with it, and y'all stand on that as if the other person who's telling y'all the information and bringing y'all the information isn't liars themselves. So Giselle revels in the fact that the other girls are mad at Stacey. Again, I don't have to do the hard work because I got these bitches doing it for me. That is Giselle, and that is how she's showing up this season. So Wendy and Eddie, Tia, and Rob meet up for dinner. Tia tells Wendy that Timo is out of town, and that she also tells Wendy that, Stacy told her that Tia was the safest to have around her husband. And I don't think that was supposed to be shade for Wendy, but Wendy takes a lot of that personal. Why? I don't know, especially coming from Stacy. I think when Stacy said it, she's looking at the fact that everybody has said or done something negative towards me. And these are the people I don't want to bring around my husband. So Tia, besides Wendy, was the only person that hadn't said anything negative towards me, hadn't, done anything or said anything. So I do feel safe around Tia. That's what I got out of that. Anyway, so Wendy gets in her feelings and she decided to call Stacy and question Stacy, and ask why wasn't Stacy at dinner. And she tells Wendy that Timo, did she lie about? Okay, I think she lied about Timo being out of town. So Timo was supposed to be gone the day they went to dinner, and we found out that he wasn't gone. So Wendy also confronts her about the comment of Tia says she feels safe there, she feels safe bringing Timo around her. And she apologized. Stacy apologized to Wendy for that comment. And I didn't even write all that part down. I didn't write that down. But she apologized to Wendy, and Stacy and Tia actually get into it or whatever. And she was like, I shouldn't have trusted her with this information, yada, yada, yada. So they hang up. That phone conversation went left and they hung up. Tia tells Wendy what Angel said about the whole Angel not speaking to her at the airport when they was headed to Nevis, and how Wendy brought up the catfish comment. It's like, okay, girl. Wendy said, I did not say that. And she did not. She didn't. Production rolled the bean footage, and we saw that it was Giselle that brought it up. The only thing Wendy did, she said, your attitudes, this lady brought this up about you, but you have more smoke for me than you have for her. That is all Wendy was saying. Anyway, Giselle, messy ass, we get to this event. Her messy ass invited Vivian. We know Vivian and Stacy don't really see it for each other. Sharice is always around. It is what it is. And she invited Cookie. So, here we go. Tia tells them how Stacy lied about Timo. I get it. She did lie about Timo. But did it warrant that level of frustration and anger? It was like venom you had for Tia. You had for Stacy. Like, that was a lot. And so Angel goes to Giselle. Basically, I felt like she was trying to kiss Giselle's ass. And basically, Giselle said in her confession, girl, I don't give a damn about you. I am here for my party, and that's it. So Wale walks in. Not the rapper. Wale from the show, what is the name of that show? The Love Hotel. I really didn't watch it. I seen a little clips here and there, but that was it. So he hands Giselle some flowers, and it made Ashley uncomfortable. And anytime there is discomfort, anytime somebody is on to Ashley, I am always here for it. I don't give a damn. I don't like her. So there's that part. Giselle gets on the mic and says, Robin, is any coming? Is Juan coming? Is Jamal coming? And so Wendy makes a comment. She was like, girl, where's Robin? You on your couch? I wasn't mad at that either. So Cookie shows up. And Stacy wants to have a conversation with Tia and Wendy. So they all go over to the side and have a conversation. And then everybody else decided to show up. And I'm just looking like, well, I thought those three were supposed to have a conversation. Why the rest of you bitches showing up? Again, nosy. So Tia tells Stacy, you know, she's not interested. Basically, she's not interested in being cool with her anymore because of her line about the whole Timu situation. And I'm like, what else happened? What else did she do? What else did she do? Because now I feel like, Tia, you're on that bandwagon. You were doing great, but now you're on a bandwagon. And so I just don't think Timu wanted to be around these people. I'm sorry. The way these husbands got thrown under the bus over these past seasons, I don't blame them. I don't blame Timu for not wanting to be around and not wanting to be on the cameras. Even Greg. But I don't know. I feel like his reasons was, I don't know what his reason was, but he didn't want to be on the camera. And I don't blame you. If that's not who you are and that's not a part of your lifestyle, then it shouldn't have to be. Kiana then gets on to Stacy and says, you told Chris Samuels that Monique was talking about him. And Stacey was like, what are you talking about? And that's when Kiana gets mad. Cookie was standing right there. And Cookie never denied, or she never said yes and she never said no to what Stacey was saying. And so Wendy stops everybody. And she tells them, listen, I met with Monique, and she said whatever Cookie says, basically, the bitch is not to be trusted. So we don't need to have this conversation unless Monique was here. And did y'all notice Cookie was quiet as a mouse? Because she made her little comment about Wendy when she was with the ladies, but she didn't say nothing then. And so that's when Stacy pointed at Cookie. And so Cookie was like, don't point at me. I mean, she had all of this energy for Stacy. What did Stacy do to you, ma'am? And so Stacy was like, well, I'm going to come over there in your face so I can point at you. So she told Giselle, can you kindly move so I could go point at her in her face? So unfortunately, security escorted Miss Cookie out. And then Kiana get back in what's her name, Stacey's face. And she was like, listen, what did she tell her? Because I didn't write the rest of this down because I was over it at that point. If I had a husband, Stacey was like, well, you ain't got no husband. I wouldn't trust you. It was just a lot. Y'all, it was a lot. It's the pile on. I don't know. I don't get it. Oh. Again, it may look like I'm always thinking that Stacy is so perfect. And that's not even my shtick, y'all. I don't think Stacy's perfect. I don't think Stacy is not a liar. I do think that she lied about things. But I think these women have lied about way more than what Stacy sits here and she lie about. I mean, just what? Karen just went to jail. She lied about not wrapping her tree. I mean, she lied about all of the bullshit when it came to that DUI and how she wasn't drunk. Literally was drunk and said while she was drunk, I'm lit. And said, I will be vindicated. Y'all, I really just don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all, they really becoming so hard at this lady. And I really think it's because she's even though Stacy takes up, she don't need nobody to take up for her because she stands on her own quite well by herself. I just think that she's still an easy target. And then Angel is too. But Other than that, y'all, that is all I got. I'm just done. I don't know. I'm just flabbergasted and done. We'll see y'all tomorrow for Bel Air, y'all. That comes back on tomorrow. So anyway, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.